Hello students, myself Suresh VS. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss a new lesson. The title of the lesson is The Portrait of a Lady, written by Kushan Singh, an Indian writer. He was born in 1915 and died in 2014. And some of his famous writings are A Train to Pakistan, A History of the Sikh, The Company, The Sunset Club, etc. He is a very prominent writer from India in English literature. So he was awarded with some important awards like Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan, etc. Before going to the story, let us examine some difficult words and their meanings. Portrait, that means painting or picture. The portrait of a lady means the painting or a picture of a lady. A wrinkled, having lines or faults. Mantelpiece, a structure of wood or marble, stone above and around a place. The thought was almost revolting. It's a phrase. It was very hard to believe. Revolting means unpleasant, absurd, illogical or foolish. Revolting, unpleasant, fables, moral stories. Prefix means sayings. Crisscross, a pattern of intersecting lines. Hobbled means walked in an upward way. Spotless means without spots or very clean. Then rosary, a string of beads usually used for prayer. Locks means hair. Scattered means spread. Untidy means not clean. Puckered means a face contract into wrinkles. Contentment means satisfaction. Monotonous, that is very dull and boring. Then stale means not fresh. Scriptures, they are sacred writings. Dear students, this is the story of author and his grandmother, and the story depicts the relation between both of them. The writer says that his grandmother was very old, as everybody's grandmother. You see that? We know our grandparents look very old. We haven't seen their young age. But you see that his grandmother had wrinkles on, a lot of wrinkles on his face. When we get old, surely the wrinkles or foldings will appear on our face. And she was not looking pretty. But others said to the author that once she was young and pretty. But for the writer, it was hard to believe. And they also told him that he had a husband. Yes, his grandfather's portrait or photograph was there above the mantelpiece in the drawing room. It was there on the wall. He looked very old. He looked at least 100 years old. And he had a very big turban and loose-fitting clothes and had a very long white beard which touched his chest. It seemed that he had a lot of grandchildren but had no wife and children. Such a way he was old. But in the case of a grandmother, the author felt it difficult to believe that once she was pretty and young, because he had known her for last 20 years and all these years she looked the same. So he assumed that she had the same look, same posture all her life. Grandmother used to tell about her life stories to them, but they regarded or considered them as unpleasant or absurd or foolish and treated like some fables, moral fables or moral stories. See, grandmother, she was short, fat, and had a bent. She had a lot of wrinkles on her face. She looked the same for last 20 years. But she used to wear very beautiful, or we can say very clean clothes, or without any spots on it. White sari. She used to wear white sari. She walked around the house in an awkward way, in a strange way, keeping or resting one hand on her waist and holding a rosary in her another hand. She was always telling the rosary. That means she was always in prayer, in her prayer. She was a pious woman. Her hair was silver colored, but which was rarely combed, and it scattered over her pale face. She continuously chanted prayers, but without inaudible way. It was not prayed loudly. The author compares her to a landscape, a beautiful landscape in the mountains. Why, because of her spotless saree and white colored or silver colored hair and her calm and peaceful nature, she has been compared to a beautiful landscape which is covered with snow. And in the beginning of the story, you can see that both of them had a good relation, because he was left in the custody or in the care of grandmother when his parents went to the city to settle there. So both of them were together for a long time. She had taken care of him. She had prepared food for him. She had got him ready for the school. And she woke him up in the morning and bathed him. And while she was doing all this work for him, she used to chant the morning prayers loudly in the hope that the narrator would learn it. Surely, he listened it, but he never tried to learn. The voice of grandmother was really monotonous, dull, as well as boring for him. And afterwards, she prepared the food, packed whatever the articles needed for him to the school, like slate, books, everything. Both of them together started the journey to school. That means every day she accompanied him to the school. While going, she packed some stale chapatis. Stale means not fresh. And stale chapatis also with her, because she wanted to feed those chapatis to the street dogs or the stray dogs, the village dogs. And in the school, while the narrator, then he was repeating the lesson with his other children or the students, like the alphabets and morning prayers. She was reading the scriptures in the temple. The temple was attached to the school. It was nearby only. Once the school got over, both of them started their journey back to home. And that time, so many street dogs gathered around them, and she used to feed them the chapatis. And the street dogs fought each other or one another for chapatis. And they were leading such a marvelous or a beautiful life in the village. But immediately, the parents, when they were settled in the city, they asked them to join with them or asked them to migrate to the city. And you see that. That was the turning point in the relation between grandmother and the author. There in the city, the author joined in a school, but it was an English medium school. His subjects were different there. He started learning English there instead of the holy books and also some moral stories and all. And he used to go to the school by bus instead of going by walking with the grandmother. So there they had the same room, they shared the same room, but slowly you see that their relation, a gap that started in the relation between both of them. And there was no street dogs for the grandmother to feed. Instead, every day she fed some sparrows in the courtyard in the city house. Dear students, the first part of the story ends here. I will be coming with the second part in my next video. So please like and subscribe my channel. Don't forget to press the bell icon. Thank you very much.